Welcome. Have a nice day. Today is Saturday, 11th of May 2024. Designated by former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, May 11 marks National Technology Day in India in remembrance of the groundbreaking Pokhran nuclear tests carried out by the Indian Army in 1998. This day is also celebrated as World Migratory Bird Day. 11th May is celebrated as the World Migratory Bird Day. So, starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that United States says Israel may have violated international law, but evidence is incomplete. An Israeli soldier cleans a weapon near the Israel-Gaza border amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinian Islamist group Hamas in the Israel on May 2nd, 2024. Joe Biden has tried to walk an ever finer line in his support of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's war against Hamas. The Biden administration said on the May 10th that Israel's use of United States-provided weapons in Gaza likely violated international humanitarian law, but wartime conditions prevented United States officials from determining that for certain in specific airstrikes. The administration's finding of reasonable evidence to conclude that its ally had breached international law in its conduct of the war in Gaza released in a summer of a report being delivered to Congress on Friday represent the strongest such statement from Biden officials. The Hindu newspaper also states that India backs Palestine's bid for full United Nations membership. A screen shows the voting results during the United Nations General Assembly vote on draft resolution that would recognize the Palestine as qualified to become a full United Nations member on May 10, 2024. The United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution with 143 votes in the favor and 9 against, while 25 countries abstained. It does not give Palestinians a full membership but recognizes them as a qualified to join. India on May 10 voted in favor of the draft United Nations General Assembly resolution that said Palestine is qualified and should be admitted as a full member of the United Nations, and recommended that the Security Council reconsider the matter favorably. The 193-member General Assembly met in the morning for an emergency special session where the Arab Group resolution admission of the new members to the United Nations in support of the state Palestine's full membership in the United Nations was presented by the United Arab Emirates as a chair of the Arab Group in May. Heavy fighting in Gaza's Rafah keep aid crossing closed, sends 1 lakh civilians fleeing. Palestinians travel in an animal drawn cart as they flee Rafah after Israeli forces launched a ground and air operation in the eastern part of the southern Gaza city amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas in the southern Gaza May 9. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, known as OCHA, Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, says about 110,000 people have fled Rafah and that food and fuel supplies in the city are critically low. Heavy fighting between Israeli troops and Palestinian militants on the outskirts of the southern Gaza city of Rafah has left crucial nearby aid crossing inaccessible and caused over 1 lakh people to flee north, a United Nations official said on the Friday. Israel's plans for a full-scale invasion of Rafah appear to be on hold for now, with the United States deeply opposed and stepping up pressure by the threatening to withhold arms. But even the more limited incursion launched earlier this week threatens to worsen Gaza's humanitarian catastrophe. The Hindu newspaper also states that police dismantled pro-Palestinian tents at MIT as protests continue. Signs and flags are pictured at a pro-Palestinian encampment on the lawn of the Stratton Student Center campus at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, in Cambridge, Massachusetts on May 9, 2024. Tensions have rotated up in standoffs with the protesters on campuses across the United States and in Europe. Police dismantled a pro-Palestinian tent encampment at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology early Friday and moved to clear protesters from the University of Pennsylvania's campus in Philadelphia. Hours after police tear gassed protesters and took down an encampment at the University of Arizona. In the Cambridge, Massachusetts, a video showed police roaming through the MIT encampment. Police in riot gear arrived around 4 a.m. and circled the camp and gave protesters about 50 minutes to leave. 10 students who remained were arrested, the university's president said. A crowd outside the camp began gathering and chanting pro-Palestinian slogans but were dispersed by 6 a.m. The Hindu newspaper also states that in Calcutta, alongside Pole campaign, a parallel drive for women workers. One of the posters designed to express the hard work of those women laboring under service conditions. The campaign came together after many participants at a Women's Day event in Calcutta narrated heart-rending stories about their working conditions. Alongside the election, a campaign, a month-long poster campaign, is going on in Calcutta to bring to light the unfair working conditions and salary that women laborers are usually subjected to. It is essentially a social media drive that began on May 1st and will go to till May 31, designed according to the organizers with the aim of bringing women laborers issue in public attention and help start a discourse on how their rights and demands can be met. Now going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that 12 Mozists killed in a gunfight with the security forces in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur. Basta, 12 Mozists were killed in gunfight with the Chhattisgarh police and the security personnel in Bijapur district on Friday, officials aware of the matter said. According to the officials, a joint team of state police, including the District Reserve Guard, DRG Special Task Force, Bastaria Battalion and Central Reserve Police Force (CRPF) and its Elite Guerrilla Unit Commando Battalion for a resolute action (COBRA) was out of the operation on Thursday night. The operation was planned following intelligence input from a prominent Mozist leader located in the forests of the Peda, approximately 55 kilometers from the district headquarters of Bijapur. 12 bodies of Mozists have recovered so far from the encounter site, and the coming operation will continue, said Deputy Inspector General of Police South Bastar Kamlochan Kashyap. The Times also states that Arvind Kejriwal news highlight is a Delhi Chief Minister welcomed by parents at home. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal welcomed back by home by his parents. Arvind Kejriwal news highlight the Supreme Court on Friday granted interim bail to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal till June 1st in connection with the money laundering case associated with the alleged Delhi excise policy scam. China's new envoy Zhu Feihong arrives in Delhi, says will deepen understanding. Zhu Feihong noted that it was a great honor to be appointed by President Xi Jinping as China's envoy to India and said the two countries are important neighbors. New Delhi, on China's new ambassador to India, Zhu Feihong, who arrived in New Delhi on Friday to fill a position that was vacant for nearly 18 months. He said he will work to deepen the understanding and friendship between the two sides and restore cooperation in various fields. Now going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, foreign portfolio investors sell rupees 17,083 crore of equities in May month. According to the data provided by National Securities Depository Limited and SDL FPIs on a gross basis purchased at rupees 10,89,859 crore worth equities and sold rupees 1,26,042 crore till May 10. Foreign portfolio investors FPIs net sold rupees 17,083 crore of Indian equities in May. So far, amid hardening of United States bond yields and outperformance of Chinese and Hong Kong markets, FPIs sell 17,083 crore rupees of Indian equities in May so far. The Tech Mahindra's Europe businesses had Vikram Naik's quotes. While the regulatory filing describes Nair as a president for Europe businesses, the company's portal mentioned his designation as a president for EMEA businesses. IT company Tech Mahindra's business head of Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Vikram Nair, has resigned after a stint of 19 years in the company, according to the regulatory filing. Life insurers, new businesses premium up 61% in April month. The industry showed a growth of 98% in the number of policies sold in the individual single plans and a 10% growth in individual non-single plans, the data showed. Life insurance industry reported a 61.23% jump in a new business premium at rupees 20,258.86 crore in April 2024, as against rupees 12,565.31 crore in the same period of the last year. During the month, around 49,205 life insurance agents were added. Now going towards the world news, including Kuwait's MR dissolves parliament, suspends some constitution articles, bus plunges off bridge in Russia's St. Petersburg city, killing 7 people. Prince William says Katie is doing well in rare comments since she announced her cancer diagnosis. Iraqi government asks United Nations to wind down its political mission in the country. Group wants real hostages for prisoners deal, but Netanyahu wants war to continue, says Hamas senior official. Heavy rain set off flash floods in the northern Afghanistan, killing at least 50 people. Now going towards the science and technology from Science and Tech, astronomers finally detected a rocky planet with an atmosphere. An artistic concept shows that exoplanet 55 can carry, also called Janssen, as so-called super Earth, a rocky planet significantly larger than the Earth but smaller than the Neptune. Along with the star it orbits, this undated illustration released by NASA. The planet is located in our Milky Way galaxy, about 41 light years from the Earth in a constellation Cancer. Astronomers have researched for years for rocky planets beyond our solar system with an atmosphere, a trait considered essential for an possibility of harboring a life. Well, they finally seem to have located one, but this hellish planet, apparently with the surface of a molten rock, offers no hope for habitability. Researchers said on Wednesday the planet is Super Earth, a rocky world significantly larger than our planet but smaller than the Neptune, and it orbits perilously close to star, dimmer and slightly less massive than our sun, rapidly completing an orbit every 18 hours or so. Iceland's mammoth raises potential for carbon capture. A Plakio mammoth, the new plant of Swiss startup Climeworks, is pictured in Helliseiði, Iceland on May 8, 2024. A Swiss startup unveiled on May 8, 2024. It is second planet in Iceland as sucking carbon dioxide from the air and stocking it underground, scaling up its capacity to unfold with the aim of eliminating millions of tons of carbon dioxide by 2030. Mammoth, the largest carbon dioxide capture and storage facility of its kind, launched operations this week situated on a dormant volcano in Iceland. With the Mammoth 72 industrial fans, Swiss startup Climeworks intends to suck 36,000 tons of carbon dioxide from the air annually to bury underground, vowing to the pro the technology has placed in the fight against global warming. Mammoth, the largest carbon dioxide capture and storage facility of its kind, launched operations this week situated on a dormant volcano in Iceland. Pergrinsis in skyscraper. Loss of habitat has led to falcons moving into our high-rises, and abundant food and safe shelter mean these urban hunters are thriving now. Our eyes perched at the edge of an overhang 29 dazzling stories above ground like a Marvel superhero, overlooking a dominion of wetland hammered in the sea, and a road rolling southwest threatening more development. She drowsily scratches her chin, eyes closed to the burgeoning March sun. Aura is a female peregrine falcon, Falco peregrinus calidus. Her distinctive dark hood, white cheek pads, and slate blue back contrasts with a light underbelly marked with a horizontal bars and arrowheads. A faint peach fades over her shoulders and breast. Japan Weather Bureau says 90% of chance of El Nino ending by May. An area is uncovered by the lowering of water level from the Magdalena River, the longest and most important river in the Colombia, due to the lack of the rain in the city of the Honda, January 14, 2016, while flooding and intense rain wreaked havoc on several countries in Latin America. El Nino brings other harmful effects to Colombia with a severe drought. El Nino is a warning of ocean surface temperatures in the eastern and central Pacific. Japan's Weather Bureau said on Friday there was a 90% chance that the El Nino phenomena will be dissipated by the end of the May, while there was a 60% chance of the La Nina phenomena occurring in the month of up to until November. El Nino is a warning of ocean surface temperatures in the eastern and central Pacific. La Nina is characterized by unusually cold ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific region and is linked to floods and drought. Health Ministry issues guidelines for confirming heat stroke and heat-related deaths. Climate change is raising risks to human health by increasing exposure and vulnerability to extreme heat events. Amid heat waves in the several parts of India, the set of the guidelines aims at helping hospitals become aware of the criteria to label a death as a heat-related heat stroke and bringing in evidence-based medical decision-making processes. The Union Health Minister has issued standardized guidelines for confirming heat stroke and heat-related deaths in the country, prepared by the National Program on Climate Change and Human Health, NPCCH, and NCDC, National Center for Disease Control. The set of guidelines is aimed at helping hospitals become aware of the criteria to label a death as a heat-related heat stroke and bring in evidence-based medical decision-making processes. The decision to conduct an autopsy should be based on the circumstances of the death, the age of the deceased, and the available resources, the collection of blood, urine, etc. For toxicological examination is highly desirable if the condition of the body allows it. When these specimens are collected and preserved, toxicological analysis can be performed as the resource become available, said the guidelines. Read the information on food labels carefully, make health food choices, latest dietary guidelines for Indians. A file photo of assorted vegetables placed for sale at a market in New Delhi. Stay away from protein supplements, highly processed foods, alcohol, said the latest dietary guidelines for Indians. Protein supplements, highly processed foods, and items containing high sugar, salt, and trans fats have all made it to the restricted cautionary intake or eliminate list of the recently released revised dietary guidelines for Indians. GGI is issued by the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, National Institute of Nutrition, NI, in Hyderabad. It has also advised people to make informed and healthy food choices and read information on food labels carefully. DGIs have recommended cutting down consumption of sugar, salt, excess refined oil, deep fried foods, and refined foods, and advocated avoiding soft drinks and alcohol, and increasing consumption of fruits, vegetables, and pulses, while preferring whole grains and millets to refined grains, ultra processed foods. At last, there is a famous quotation said by C.V. Raman, whose full name was Sir Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman, born on the 7th of November 1888 up to 21st of November 1970, was an Indian physicist known for his work in the field of light scattering. Using a spectrograph that he developed, he and his student K.S. Krishnan discovered that when light traverses a transparent material, the reflected light changes its wavelength and frequency. This phenomenon, hetero to unknown type of scattering of light, which they call modified scattering, was subsequently termed as the Raman effect or Raman scattering. Raman received the 1930 Nobel Prize in Physics for the discovery and was the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize in any branch of science. In 1917, he was appointed the first pilot professor of physics by Ashutosh Mukherjee at Raj Bazar Science College under the University of Calcutta. On his first trip to Europe, seeing the Mediterranean Sea motivated him to identify the prevailing explanation for the blue color of the sea at the time, namely the reflected Rayleigh scattering of light from the sky, as being incorrect. He founded the Indian Journal of Physics in 1946. He moved to Bangalore in 1933 to become the first Indian director of the Indian Institute of Science. He founded the Indian Academy of Science the same year. He established the Raman Research Institute in 1948, where he worked to his last days. The Raman effect was discovered on 28th of February in 1928. The day is celebrated annually by the Government of India as the National Science Day. Mr. Raman says a famous quotation. He says that success can come to you by courageous devotion to task lying in front of you. Okay, thank you.